In today's video, we get to see this hybrid creature and find out that even big cats can open doors. But first, let's take a look at what happens when several deer meet a car. Number 10. Jumping deer. A video of a deer leaping over a car while crossing the road has gone viral. The video has surprised people and might do the same to you. The video was shared by the 5th District of Michigan on their official Twitter account. The department began their post with a hashtag #DeerLeapsOverCar. Then they added regarding the situation, explaining that when fall comes, so does the infamous increase of deer crossing. Just like how Trooper Anderson came across this small herd. Thankfully, he was able to quickly brake to avoid contact. They also put a reminder for people to do so if they see a deer or a herd of deer crossing a road. If a deer ever crosses your path on the road, it's best to apply controlled braking and that you should steer straight, no swerving. The video was uploaded online and has had over 2,600 views and counting since it was shared. The post has also received nearly 100 likes. Number 9. Dog attack. A disturbing YouTube video shows a dog biting a horse while little children scream in the background. Bridger Medlin, the horse's owner, claims the attack happened on their first day offering rides inside the park. Amanda Medlin Underwood, the victim, was driving the carriage at the time and attempted to break up the altercation. According to her brother, she suffered many head wounds that had to be stapled and a broken foot that will require surgery. Travis estimates that the onslaught lasted 5 to 7 minutes. According to the owner, the dog escaped its leash without notice and jumped up and latched onto the horse's throat. The horse had at least 15 bites but is expected to be fine. Those on board the carriage promptly leapt off following the attack. The video shows the horse kicking the canine with her legs, but the dog does not back down. It's unknown what prompted the dog to attack in the first place. Travis explained that the dog had to be put down. For his animal-loving sister, he believes this is a roller coaster of emotions. Number 8. Teamwork. Everyone has heard tales of how animals cooperate and exhibit remarkable levels of social intelligence. But this clip in particular elevates the concept of teamwork to an entirely new level. This raccoon family has some very incredible problem-solving abilities, as well as an unbelievable level of devotion. The video shows a mother raccoon and one of her young, known as a kit, resting on top of a little wall. Another newborn raccoon sits nearby on the ground, anxious to join its family. To help it along, the mother bends over the wall and pulls it up as her other baby clutches her leg to keep her from falling. The entire scene lasts less than 30 seconds, yet in that time, this mama raccoon shows a remarkable amount of love and concern for her young. It's apparent that this little raccoon family has built a strong friendship based on trust and understanding. Number 7. Lioness opens door. A family on safari in South Africa was surprised when a lioness opened the door to their car. Susanta Nanda, an Indian Forest Services officer, tweeted a video of the incident. In the Twitter caption, they jokingly wrote that the lioness just wants to go on a safari ride, that's why it opened the door. It was simply asking for a lift. However, on a more serious note, Nanda added that people should keep a safe distance from the wild animals, as this can happen to anyone. A family can be seen in the video admiring a bunch of lions from a distance. A curious lioness approached the safari vehicle and opened the door, frightening the guests inside. The occupants successfully reclose and lock the door, with one person exclaiming that they didn't know the lions could do that. Well, you're not alone, sister. I don't think anyone knew that at all. When Nanda shared the old video on the microblogging network, it quickly went viral again. It has received more than 15,400 views. Netizens were stunned to view the footage and eager to learn what happened next. Fortunately, no one was harmed during the incident. Number 6. Suspicious roadblock. An unusual roadblock on the New Jersey Turnpike filmed on a dashboard camera, according to state police, was a lapse in judgment rather than a robbery attempt. A man pulled up to an apparent roadblock on a New Jersey roadway on an early morning. He filmed a figure appearing from the shadows on his dashcam. Ivan Tuktin, who was driving alone on the Turnpike's Newark Bay extension at the time, said that the frightening encounter happened in an instant. As the strange figure, covered in the shadows by a car in the shoulder, sauntered towards him, 2 cones barred his path. Tuktin assumed at first that the person was simply in trouble and needed his help. However, when he saw the man put his hands in his pocket, Tuktin left, but later called 911. According to State Police Captain Stephen Jones, the cones had vanished by the time officers responded to allegations of strange people. However, they saw 2 men there and discovered that the car had run out of gas. Troopers suspect the two may have attempted an inappropriate and risky method of obtaining assistance by using the cones. Number 5. Raccoon Memorial. A shrine was built around a dead raccoon on a street in Toronto, Canada. The critter was discovered in the morning, but as the day progressed and no one arrived to pick up Conrad, the pavement memorial grew, with a framed photo of a raccoon and a condolence note emerging. He was reported to Toronto's Municipal Administration and Animal Control Department on the morning of July 9, 2015, and it took more than 12 hours for him to be removed. A memorial shrine was built around the poor raccoon at the time, complete with photos, cards, candles, roses, and a trending hashtag #DeadRaccoonTO. Around 11 p.m, the party was done and animal services arrived, more than a little disappointed. But the Toronto raccoon was not forgotten, and lights were still lit in his honor. Number 4. Moose. Take a look at this enormous fellow. We all know that moose are large animals. Giant antlers weighing over 1,000 pounds are known to stomp out wolves and fend off bears. But if you've never seen one in person, it's difficult to get a sense of how big these beasts are. A video that went viral a few years ago does a pretty decent job of putting their enormity into perspective. Drivers in Alaska are always on the watch for all kinds of creatures, but when they encountered this giant walking through a median late one night, they were shocked and had to pull over to get a better look. Just compare him to the SUV on the other side of the road. He's gotta be 1.5 feet taller, as well as wider, if not maybe even more. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo is a creature that looks like a fish hybrid, but what is this thing really? Find out more about it next. Number 3. The Bottom Feeder. We leave you with this image to investigate and determine the true nature of whatever creature this may be. At first glance, it looks like something that's not even from this world, or even a mutated animal. However, the answer is a lot simpler than what you would expect. This hybrid-looking thing is actually from an art exhibit. It looks so realistic that I find it hard to believe that this is simply part of an exhibit. Patricia Piccinini, an Australian modern artist whose work exemplified the underlying line between natural and artificial expositions of human evolution, she is now recognized as one of the world's leading contemporary artists, having spent over 3 decades of her life developing an in-depth understanding of the evolving relationship between the human being and its dynamic nature, particularly with the current emerging digital generation in the age of technology and automation. Her hyper-realistic human-animal hybrid sculptural creatures with explicit and meticulous details depict the unusual mutations of our genetic progression, which surprisingly recreates the perfect impression with fiberglass, silicone, resin, and unconventional component materials such as human hair. Number 2. A toddler's tumble. Uh-oh, toddler overboard? A 2-year-old girl who fell out of a moving automobile while strapped into a baby capsule was unharmed. When the automobile made a turn at a corner in Mankato, Minnesota, a rear door abruptly opens, sending the youngster tumbling out of the car. The 2-year-old was unharmed as the toddler's seat skidded along the road right side up. Chad Mock, a truck driver who was behind the automobile at the time, filmed the incident on dashcam. He shared the video on Facebook, where it received over 780,000 views in under 2 days. Mr. Mock stated that the girl was extremely calm and wasn't bruised, wounded, or anything after falling out of the car. The girl's mother, who was driving the car, pulled over at a different intersection and went to the site on foot, according to Mankato Department of Public Safety Commander Daniel Shizzle. The girl was considered to be adequately fastened into the seat, but the capsule itself was not sufficiently secured within the automobile. It's unclear how the automobile door opened. The mother of the girl, who has not been recognized, could face criminal prosecution. Number 1. Ostrich racing. Finding the motivation to exercise can be difficult at times. However, it appears like a group of cyclists has it figured out. When you're being chased down the road by a huge bird, you're more likely to knuckle down and accelerate. In a popular video by Oleksiy Mischenko, who is training with some pals for the Cape Argus tour in South Africa, an ostrich is the star of the show. Mischenko and 2 other cyclists were on their way to the Cape of Good Hope for a 130-kilometer training ride when the ostrich decided to join in. On YouTube, he stated that it was a little terrifying at first, but then he thought he was going to fall off his bike from laughter. The ostrich had no trouble keeping up at 50 kilometers an hour, and they can supposedly reach 70 kilometers an hour without breaking a sweat. Fortunately, the speedy animal decided to leave them alone because they were about to run out of road. The Cape of Good Hope leads nowhere. Mischenko's guess is that the ostrich just wanted to brag, and well, it has good reason to do so. See you all next time.